Let the puppets of chaos rule!
Oh, yeah. Let me get to it. This what happens when I fly solo bolo. Welcome to the Leapcast, the first time fantasy series reader show based on The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I messed that up. Hi, I am Ryan's brother Dan. He is not here today. He is off having fun, and we wish him well. Right, guys? Don't we all wish him well? Clap for him. Yay, clap, clap, clap. Oh, gosh, that applause. I'm addicted to it. It's like a drug. It's like that V that they'd taken the boys. Anyways, hi. We're here to talk about Crossroads of Twilight. And as you know, this is the first time reader, and you don't care about what I am saying or thinking or doing. You want to know what our first time readers are saying and thinking and doing. So let me bring him in here right now. First time readers, get it while you can, get it while it's hot, get it in the can, get it while you can. They didn't even finish it. All right, they lived happily ever after.
Hey, I recall every word of that.
It's just well done. Hi, guys. Welcome.
Hi, Dan.
What's up?
Hey, everybody in chat.
I chopped up that intro. It's a ground beef. Blah.
Massimo wore no visible weapons, but Dan does.
Oh, man. Yeah. We these are pretty. What do you guys think of? Well, first of all, shit. How are you? Hi, Carrie. How are you?
Hi, Dan. I am great. I can't believe it's already Tuesday again. I mean, I felt like we just did this yesterday, and here we are again, reading and talking more about Wheel of Time.
Here we are again. You look fabulous. I love the shirt. Dark Friend Social.
Thank you for all the people who voted for me to wear the shirt today. That was kind of fun.
Democracy works, everyone. Hi, Case and I, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. I'm doing so good. I have nothing else to say. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know you may have to bounce in and out. Yeah, if you have to bounce in and out, that's perfectly good. You're a good mom.
Thank you. I do have my Layla girl here, so I might need to. I'll let you know. Hopefully.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, fingers crossed. And finally, we have our sussy friend Josh. Hello, Arlox.
Hello. Hi, Dan.
How are you?
Carrie? I'm doing well.
Hello.
Josh?
Yeah. Everybody's got orange on today. Orange and yellow.
I know, right? We are very summery. We're very summery. Very summery colors.
I'm in a Pernod commercial.
I love Carrie's getup and the hat and the Dark Friend Social, and then she's got the best earrings on too that she was showing us.
Black earrings on. In case you guys don't know, I'm Black Aja, so yeah. Oh, geez.
Yeah, they're so pretty. I want to see them better, but they're so pretty. I love it.
Yes,
love the Black Aja theme.
Me too. I don't have earrings on. I tried, but they fell off, and I lost them.
The way of the Ryan.
The way of the Ryan.
So that's a funny story. Actually, that was my Case Sedai account because I just didn't know what to name it. And so he took it over and was using it, but it was still under Case Sedai for the longest time. So he had this purple wig as his, little circle that you see every time you're there, and then he'd be commenting as Case Sedai. Well, you can change the name for your own thing. It was funny.
The way of the Ryan.
Is nothing real on the internet anymore? Oh,
I know. It's a hand-me-down account. Go figure.
I was having like
And-
a 2-month conversation with you. Yeah, apparently it was Ryan. Ah,
right?
man.
That was what? He works for me, so it's fine.
What?
No creepy whatsoever.
Not creepy. No. Hashtag
It
not
was just a
creepy.
YouTube account. It's not like I posted anything. Like I don't have any videos on it or anything. I didn't make a
Mhm.
channel. It just looked
Or you
like
do.
okay. Those videos are all on a different channel, Josh. It's fine. They're not on that one though.
Mm.
My
Well,
content
anyways,
is elsewhere.
I want to catch the scent of a dream.
Mm.
Ryan promised to send me socks, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Dirty underwear.
Yeah, just kidding. Well, Ryan, it's speaking of the books, The Scent of a Dream.
Right.
You know what? I've heard a rumor that farts are dream fuel. That you when you smell someone's fart, that you're gonna get their dream that night.
That's
So yeah.
fucking weird, Dan.
You
No,
know
no,
what's
that's
funny though about the fart situation is that I honestly thought about when Perrin says something about what was it, Perrin? It was something about because you can't smell like your own feelings and
Yeah, your
emotions.
own scent.
It
Mhm.
made
Unless you're
me
in a
think
depressed
of
state.
it made me think of farts for some reason.
Or your own
I don't
breath.
know why. Maybe like your own breath. Yeah.
I've always heard, like, if you're in an airplane, you're in a subway, you're in a bus, you're in an elevator, you should fart so that people can have good dreams about you that night.
That's what it happens?
Yeah.
I don't do that then. Jeez. I'm kidding.
I don't know, Dan. I feel a little uncomfortable about this.
Everyone pass your dreams around.
Ah.
Spread your dreams widely.
Let your dreams fly.
Through a beautiful fart cloud. Share it with
Tell that to
others.
my 4-year-old, and he's going to start just farting in every elevator he can.
Seriously, don't tell this to children. Hide your kids during this part. Actually, don't.
Hide your kids.
They should
Hide
not be
your wife.
watching the show.
Hide your husbands too.
I'm not going to make him watch the show. I'm just going to tell him to do it, Chris.
Okay. Yeah. If they're watching this, I'm going to drink my water. Ooh.
Oh,
No,
nice.
teach them. If there's 6 or more people, you should.
Dan is such a sharing person, Brother Dan.
Thank you, Skinner. Yeah, if there's 6 or more people, you should fart just so that they can have good dreams. And teach your kids that, but be on the slide. Like you walk up and you'll look down at them and you'll be like 4, 5, 6, and you'll give like a little smile and a nod.
You give them
and
a countdown?
And the kid will just yell.
You give them like
this
a
might be the strangest
5, 6,
5 minutes
7,
of our show we've ever spent.
And then we walk away and we high five.
5, 6, 7, 8 your kids to fart the next time you're in an elevator. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
If Ryan was here, he would probably say something like, "Don't scare Carrie."
Well, Ryan's not
He's
here.
over it now.
Oh. Well,
Go
then maybe we should take the hint and not scare Carrie.
Okay.
Hint taken, Carrie. We got it.
Peekaboo.
We'll move on. See, you can't help but love
my
this
goodness.
guy, right?
I got your nose.
It just makes everything better. The
All right,
puppet
let's jump in.
always-
All right, fine.
Fine.
Oh,
We have 4 chapters to get through. 6 through 9. Nice.
the Santa of a dream.
The nicest of chapters. All right, chapter 6 is called The Scent of a Dream. Hoo-wah!
That's funny.
Oh, that was the scent of a woman. Hoo-wah!
Hoo-wah,
And this
hoo-wah.
is the Perrin chapter. This is after Perrin had just kind of left talking to Balwer. He's galloping into the forest, and what's his name? Aram is hanging out with them. What do you guys think of Aram? Didn't we talk about Aram really, Carrie?
We did last show.
Yeah, we did at the end of the last show. Like Aram's
Okay.
kind of like this creepy sidekick of Perrin, and he's just like overly protective of him.
Do we get any more information about him in these chapters? Anything about him smell? He doesn't smells eager about shit.
Yeah, he likes the fighting. He wants to kick some butt, you know.
He wants to like blast some people.
He totally wants to fight. Did we talk about the Two Rivers thinking that
What?
Perrin has been sleeping with Berlane the whole time?
Yeah, that's why they're mad at him. Why they?
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
that was my theory at the end of the last show. I don't know that the ladies agreed, but
Okay, I wasn't sure if we had talked about it, but yeah, we hear confirmation that the Two Rivers, they think that that the night that Fael got kidnapped, that he boned Berlane. And the Two River people are like, that's fucked up. And he's like, yeah, I know, but it didn't happen, right? But they don't know. What really happened is he was just sitting for so long that they dragged his unconscious body into her tent, took off her clothes, took selfies with him, posted it on the Instagram. They're like, look, hashtag Wolfman, hashtag naked, hashtag no wife. And the maids were all gossipy, and the Two Rivers like, all right, Perrin, you dick. You dick. Anyways, that's
You couldn't hear
Drinking
me
up-
laughing. Sorry.
drinking obligation to start us off.
please.
After one short burst of speed, he slowed.
Ooh,
Yes.
there we go.
I like it. I like it. There are quite a few drinking obligations in this chapter. They're the only ones I underlined. I grabbed
Mhm.
my book in the middle of the audiobook just to do that because I was so excited. I was like, there's
All
another
right.
one.
So,
Give it to me.
Okay, Carrie, are you reading the hardback?
Yeah.
So I think we have the first edition, and there's some weird grammar issues in these chapters too. Did either of you catch the grammar issues?
I did not.
Read it.
I wonder if it's just the translation. I'll read it when we get to it, but
Okay.
I wonder if it's just the version I have and they got fixed in later versions or what. There are two weird grammar things in like 2 pages.
Mm.
I
Is
didn't notice,
Whataholic
but I'd like
saying
to.
grammar errors in every chapter?
Yeah.
I think he's saying in every chapter.
In every chapter, there's a grammar or drinking obligations, one or the other.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
maybe.
probably.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. He could have been talking.
So Perrin's riding out in the forest and he smells that sulfur. The horses are like, "Ooh, I'm smelling it too. I don't even want to get close." He's like, "Aram, go tell him we got dark hounds."
Oh, one thing before we get too far. The iron puzzle, the blacksmith puzzle metaphor starts on the first page of chapter 6 and literally goes through the entire set of chapters.
Mm-hmm.
Like he references it in like chapter 9. Like it's amazing.
Well,
It's probably brought up like 25 times.
we hear about the blind guy who did it though.
Yeah, the blind guy does it. I mean, it's like over and over and over. It's like the motif of these 4 chapters. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 4 chapters.
That's like a blind guy doing a Rubik's Cube.
No, it's a blind guy doing a blacksmith puzzle. Very different, Brother Dan.
Well,
A Rubik's Cube requires you to see the colors.
but
The
a
blacksmith puzzle requires you to feel how it fits together.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Tell that to a blind guy.
It
Yeah.
feels more like a blind guy trying to see or the other way around, you know? Like,
A deaf guy trying.
I'm sorry, deaf guy trying to, thank you, sorry, yeah, you stop it. Josh
Okay.
knows me so well. Thank you, Josh. He's like,
You're welcome.
let me translate, okay? This is what she meant. Yeah, that's what I
We learn a bit more about these dark hounds. Dark hounds are fucking weird, guys.
And they're from wolves.
They're from
Yes!
wolves.
That's amazing.
They're
Which, I mean, did we
So-
not all see that coming there, right? But I thought that was fun. I thought it was fun to find out for sure.
Well, we found out that they suck out the souls of other wolves. What Elias says it.
Okay, so remember, we saw this a few chapters ago. Remember, there was the White Cloak camp. Walking through the White Cloak camp, there was like a smell of death, and the officer caught it. So, is that the same smell? Is that a different smell? Was that like so? I have these like because I'm reading the chapter and like putting notes as I go. You know, Padden Fane written here on the 3rd page because that's who I thought the rank smell was that we encountered in the White Cloaks camp. But could that have this burnt sulfur smell too?
I think they're different smells.
I think so too, because it was like a toilety. It was like, oh, did they like build their latrine too close, kind of thing? Right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember feeling like they were the same smell. I thought that they were different in some way, but it is weird that
unknown smell, and now we have another unknown smell. Like, okay, well, fine. I get it, Robert Jordan. You like to repeat your tropes, but like, really? We couldn't have resolved the first unknown smell before we get to the next one? Oh, and then we do resolve this one, at least. We know it's Dark House. But
I don't know if anyone else can smell this besides Karen. I think it's mentioned that that they couldn't smell it.
Not until they get super close, right?
Well, and then what's his face that's with Perrin, the other wolf guy? What's his name? Elias?
Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that the smell that he referenced to Perrin? He's like, why didn't you, I know you would have warned me about this had you like not been so disheveled about Fael and everything else. Maybe I'm wrong. Everybody looks like they're not computing, so
well,
perhaps we'll get to a different spot.
we'll get to Elias. We'll get to Elias, and I probably have it underlined if it happens. So yeah, right now that we're
Elias and Perrin do connect over the Darkhounds.
It would be it would be later on.
The next chapter, I think.
It's Perrin realizing though that Elias, that what the thing was he asked about that freaked the wolves out last show was the Darkhounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's what that was about, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Remember,
yeah,
Perrin was like, what
sense.
scares wolves beyond death? And it's the dark. What won't you talk about, basically? And then like they all like disappear on him, remember?
Yeah, I do. This is
he was like chasing something in his dream that was like a smell.
Yeah.
So I think if we had read this like we were meant to without breaking it up by a week.
I can't.
I narrow my eyes at you.
Yeah. Get no respect.
We would have picked up on that.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, Josh. I think we totally would have picked up on that, like right away, and not had any confusion this week.
Oh no.
We got all postury on you.
No. Well, let's talk about the Darkhounds just a little bit. The Darkhounds leave no tracks, not even in snow, and yet on stone they do.
Yeah.
So they'll mess up your nice tile big time. But if you have like grass or snow or carpet or I don't know, anything, they won't leave tracks on anything but rock. Gnarly.
Even if it's rock in a city that's been quarried. Right. So
right. What else?
Okay, so
he's not really sure if you can kill him outside of Balefire as well.
Right.
Go ahead, Josh.
So I would have sent this paragraph to Ryan, but I didn't. So, quote, it might have been the chance that the creatures had passed so near his camp, but the very last but the last few years had made him uneasy with coincidences. All too often, they were not coincidences at all, not the way other men counted such things. If this was another bit of his Taverin tugging at the pattern, it was a bit he could have done without. Just we were talking a couple of shows ago about Tavernness and the pattern, and it's interesting to get this kind of inside view of like a Taverin reflecting on his own influence of the pattern. One of our three known Taverin tugging at the pattern, right?
Right. And it's a little bit of a meta thing as well, because he's like, is this Taverin?
Yeah, the thing seemed to have more disadvantages than advantages, even when it appeared to be working in your favor. The chance that favored you 1 minute would turn on you the next. And there was always another possibility. Being Taverin made you stand out in the pattern, and some of the Forsaken could use that to find you at times, or so he had been told. Which is like, oh, fuck, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Perrin is like that meme that's like where the guy is looking at a butterfly. And he's like, is this Taverin? I don't know if you guys, some guy looking at the butterfly meme. You guys know this.
I don't know that one then, actually.
Yeah, you do. I'll find it.
I don't.
At
butterfly meme.
Searching database. No. I do not compute.
Totoro, brother Dan.
It's what?
Totoro. It's like an anime meme.
Yeah, it's the anime guy. Yeah, he's looking at a butterfly.
Is this a pigeon?
Is this Taverin? Yeah, so he's always that's Taverin every time I think, is this Taverin? But he does question if this is being Taverin. He's like, maybe the wolves were just around because I'm Taverin. Who knows? But they did do a complete circle around. He smelt them the whole way.
Yeah.
Smell those fuckers. You could see little steps in stone. And he's going back to the camp when he sees Bearlane and her posse. A couple Aes Sedai, a couple wise ones and stuff. Bearlane, they see him. She runs over. She like gallops over with a freaking hoop basket. She's like, "Hi, hun. I made you breakfast." And he's like, "What?" But it smelled so good. It was a wood hen, guys. Who's eating wood hen? Yeah, me neither.
Hey.
I imagine it's like
we got a lot going on with that wood hen.
Okay. It was an almost 50-50 chance that Josh was like, "Oh yeah, I've had wood hen."
I was almost expecting him to be like, "I have wood hens." And
I have wood hens. Yeah.
Went into my backyard and got one and cooked it for dinner last night for my children.
I only have
my children with gooseberry jam on the side. And special truffle gravy.
Truffle gravy, yeah, with the compote, the fig compote.
What else goes with a wooden bird? What are they?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Maybe a Cornish game hen, or they call it a capon. Is it a capon like a little chicken?
Capon?
Yeah. Capon.
Capon.
Capon. It's excuse me. Not the spicy mustard.
Not the coffee.
It's not. It's capon.
Not a capon.
Poupon.
Not Grey Poupon and not a capon. So it's capon.
So I have a drinking obligation. My first one of the night. Quote: fingering the cloth aside to expose the wood.
Yes, I also have that one, and oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah. I gotta get better. See, how does Ryan do it? All right. I like this one too. Boom. All right.
Nice.
All right, I'm back.
Is anybody else?
Dan's been fucking around behind the scenes. He's like, "Ooh, use this next."
I'm getting a weird glitching tonight.
You are?
Yeah. So wood hens appear to be either a woodpecker or like in New Zealand, like another weird little pigeon shaped, kind of like slightly bigger than a quail, but smaller than a chicken. Anyhow.
I imagined it to be smaller than a chicken.
So I love in this chapter all this info we get about like Perrin detecting. Perrin detecting the opening of the Ashaman's gateway, and this bit about, did the Darkhounds report what they saw the way rats and ravens do?
Correct. Yeah.
The Shadow's attention might interfere with freeing Fael. So this gets back to that question of like, is Perrin following the pattern right now, or is he going against the grain? Is this something he should or has to be doing for his Tabarrenness to express itself, or is it against that? And I still don't know the fucking answer. And I wonder if this, it feels to me, I'm going to go there because we're early in the show.
Yeah.
It feels to me like each of the three male main characters exhibit a type of free will that opposes the expression of their archetype. Like Rand resists becoming the Dragon Reborn. Perrin goes off and does his own thing. Matt literally fucking like dies and is reborn. I don't know, like they don't just like go along with the story that's being told for them. They don't follow their destiny, right? In the same way that like Luke Skywalker didn't follow his destiny. I'm sure it's a part of the hero's journey, and I'm just like forgetting about it in terms of storytelling, like methodology. But it's vastly different, again, than the way the women are treated. And this is still one of the things that really irks me about this series, is the way that like Egwene has basically been like bullied into being this like power figure and like left behind all of her childhood. Like it's very different the way that the men and the women experience their destinies.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I completely agree.
Difference in the way that characters experience their destinies within this world, and I'm not sure what to do with that. I mean, I can put it on a shelf and like read the story and experience it and like be like, okay, but it also leaves me with a little of this feeling of like, well,
let me address that. We do have within the story, that men with powers are generally a bad thing, right? Like it is the female half is non-tainted, the male half is tainted. Mm-hmm. So we have Rand, who is a channeling male. There is obviously this stigma around it. Yeah. Perrin has his own thing as well, and he tries to hide it with his wolf thing, but guess what? His eyes turn yellow, and he can't even hide it from that. Right. A lot of people think that is associated with the Dark One. Matt has
the Dark One's look, right?
Right. And so the gender bias is ingrained within the story. It's not him writing it per se in this way. They're dealing with a different
situation. I get that it's a mechanism. Of the story.
Yeah.
But that's not where the problem is. It's in the fact that the men seem to exhibit free will in determining which way their life goes, and the women, as in our society historically, are subjugated and pushed into the positions of power that they're in without much of their own discretion and intention. Mm-hmm. And that's the bit that feels like it's reifying traditional gender values of our society as opposed to opposing them. So again, I'm not saying that it's bad writing or that it doesn't make sense. It's just what it expresses from a gender philosophy standpoint in terms of like the way that the structures of power are set up within our society.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I also was thinking along the lines of like Well, what you were saying, Josh, just got me thinking about something that had occurred to me throughout these chapters as well. Kind of in the same like aspect of where like Perrin and Matt, and definitely the other characters too, but specifically those were the two that I've been thinking about the most lately, are
Mhm.
really just like forced to face these big fears that it seems like they had, or like big struggles that they had both as a group, but then independently with their own stuff and their own shit that comes along, like with
Yeah.
the Tavernus, like the dice. I think that maybe that has something to do with like Matt being just like, I don't know, feeling really different as a child, and I don't really know, like not feeling lucky, and then he now he has all this luck, where it's like not, I don't know, like there's got to be something in there. I'm not sure about Matt, but like the whole parent thing was, yeah, it got me thinking about like him having to just deal with these emotions. He's got a lot of insight in
Mhm.
these chapters, and he's like constantly like talking about the feelings that he's smelling, like, and he's saying it
Mhm.
in this way, so it's just like in a parent type of way, but you're getting the point that he's going through all of these like various emotions, and he's also recognizing when he like doesn't feel devastated by Fail, for example, like in towards like the later part of these chapters, things like that. So he's like facing all of these things, these insecurities, and having to navigate like really recognizing what he's going through too. And
Right.
it's just very different, I think, for Perrin, because I think at the beginning he was like, of the books in general, he was much more unaware of like all of it emotionally,
Let me
I like this.
ask. And,
That's an important bit. Go ahead,
yeah.
Dan. Sorry.
Let me ask. Yeah. Well, I don't want to. Yeah. There's a lot to unpack with that. So Rand, Perrin, and Matt. Let me ask you: Has Perrin? How many people know that Perrin can talk to wolves in this story? Does Matt know? Does Rand know? Does
I don't think Perrin's seen Rand other than very briefly, right?
Right. I mean, is this like a hidden secret or like an open secret that everyone knows in the camp that this guy talks to wolf, or
I don't think so.
they just see yellow eyes and that's it? He has wolf eyes and that's all. So let me ask you, Carrie, let me ask you specifically. We have physical manifestations of certain Tavernus with our characters. Rand is the Karkarn because he has these tattoos of the dragon on his arms.
Mm-hmm.
Perrin has the golden eyes.
Yeah.
Carrie, do you think that Matt is going to or has now any physical manifestation of Tavernus?
I mean, the only thing that I associated with Matt so far has been the dice and the luck that he's been facing, but I'm still trying to figure out what the heck is going on in his head with all those memories that he has, and how that comes into play. I feel like those memories are helping him, and they're guiding him, and they're helping him be a better leader with the people.
Right.
But Matt is still kind of a little mystery there.
Right. And I am talking about something physical, something that he cannot hide. And I guess he is hiding his scar on his neck.
His throat has been slit, and he carries the Ashendari and the fucking necklace around, all of which are connected to his Aelfin escapades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than straight Tavernus per se.
Or was the dagger and ultimately going through the two stone doorways part of his Tavernus?
Yeah. Dang.
Were they requisite to make Matt who he is in order to behave? Like, he wouldn't have the knowledge of the generals to be the leader of the band of the Red Hand.
Well, you didn't know that he's Tavern. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, good point, off which.
Yes,
the flag is a
exactly.
Dang it, yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly. I think that they know he's Tavern. I just don't know that they know that he can like smell the things that he can smell, right?
Right. I don't know if they can smell like they know that he can smell eagerness or jealousy or any of that stuff. I mean, normally you smell animals or flowers or something burning, something like you don't smell emotions. I don't think he's shared that with anyone.
It's like
including
the idea that dogs can smell you when you're afraid, right? And that's why they attack. I mean, it's playing on that human.
Right. Yeah. I don't think there's like do you think there's like an actual scent? Like, or we're just understanding it as scent through like the way that we know that dogs understand humans. And
I think he's seeing with his nose.
Like he's
seeing with his nose.
Seeing with his okay. Yeah. So he's not like
in this case, emoting with his nose.
Smells angry out here. He's not like doing that. He just senses it through this other sense that animals often have, and dogs specifically. That's what I was going to say. This is like the strongest empath you could possibly imagine, right? That's so funny, Josh. I was going to say that earlier. Perrin, super empath.
Exactly. No, I mean, that's part of why I love him. He's brawny and burly, but he's also an empath. And he's like the only one. I mean, again, look at like where Perrin, think about how Perrin, Matt, and Rand were about their relationship to the better sex at the beginning of the book, and now where they all are.
Yeah.
Matt is like mingling with his future wife, has like been through his own sex slavery.
They've all grown up a lot.
Right? Like Rand has literally 3 wives. Perrin's married and like his wife's been kidnapped. I mean, it's like
he's got a big bosomed woman, that's very flirtatious sometimes. So.
But yeah, Perrin and his wife had like a real nice spread in the 2 rivers, the big like 3-story mansion. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Not a bad deal.
So Perrin,
I don't know where we started with that conversation.
Oh no, it's great. It's great. And I wrap it right back. So Berylane is talking to Perrin.
Okay. I feel like this is a spoiler. What does this mean, Mr. Dovey? I want to know.
Shamer, how dare you? See, okay. You know what? Thank you. Actually, I take back everything I said.
Nope,
Mr. Dovey is correct. No, she's
a known
correct.
Perrin hater. Come on.
She is a known Perrin hater, but she's absolutely correct. Perrin goes off about describing how very chunky, and I forget the exact word. I'll find it.
People are plump.
Well, no, there were additional words other than plump used to describe this person, and I thought also, like, why is this important? Why do I care about how much this what the fuck is going on? Like
about people being plump.
The big bosomed situation I get because it explains some behaviors that we're seeing from other people, and that makes sense to explain that part of it. But like plumpness, really.
No, yeah, I know. Let's hold off on Perrin. Like, let's try to get it back into the chapter if we can, and then
let's do it. Sorry, just had to back her up there for a second. I retract.
Dovey, come on, Doves.
Don't give me stuff like
Doves. We're getting to the ropes pretty soon. Hold on. All right, so Berylane gives him this freaking wood hen. He's like, God damn it, I don't want it. It's like cheating on my wife eating this delicious breast. Oh, John. He eats like half the bird. He's throwing the bones on the floor. Also, and there's a letter. And guess what? It's a letter that Massima had that was a get out of free jail card from Sarath. And Perrin's like, fuck, this Sarath must be pretty powerful to have this shit, and gave it to. What's up? He also finds out that the Aes Sedai have been going and seeing. He found that out, I guess, before, but he tells Berylane, he's like, "Hey, your Aes Sedai have been visiting fucking Massima, so you know." I do have another drinking obligation. Tell me if this one is.
Me too. You go first, and I'll go.
So, but I got to do it with the British accent because we're using female slang here. All right.
Okay.
It can hardly be disloyal just to eat a bird.
Well, wait, I didn't understand the what?
It can hardly be disloyal just to eat a bird.
Oh, yes, love it. Fabulous. Okay. Well done. Bravo. Bravo.
Right.
Bravo, brother Dan. Right. Bravo. Right. Bravo.
There's birds everywhere.
All right. How about this one?
All right.
Feeling under the bundle and sliding out a piece of heavy cream.
Oh, no. Yep.
Nice.
Where is it?
Now, piece is not great, but it's fine.
It's my piece.
Also, while nibbling on the leg.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And
he did spit out a bone, I think, too.
He does. Finish him. Okay. Simple, nice. To the point. He had bitten the thigh bone.
Bit the thigh. Bit the thigh.
He had bitten the thigh bone. Yeah. Spitting the nub of bone into the palm of his gauntlet. I think that just is not sexual in any way.
Spitting the nub of bone?
Yeah, you know, hey.
All right.
Those are fun. They were so many smashed together in like 2 paragraphs.
So Nora's been meeting with Massimo. She's like, I'll take care of that. Don't worry about it.
I love how much Perrin has become the wolf we see in these, like, not being around Fael. He's really, his internal state has really become very wolf-like. There's this bit about he was accustomed to certain smells from Barrelane, usually those of a hunting she-wolf. And he, like, is constantly, like, using his smell, like we saw Carissa, right, and Carrie, to, like, assess people's emotional state throughout these chapters. And it's like, I wonder, like, do we think, Carrie, you weren't here during these books, but early on we wondered, was Perrin free? Was Perrin and our Elias both free from the risk of becoming the Wolfman that we saw in the cage earlier in the series?
Oh, remember? Right. Yeah, we talked about that being a possibility. And did we think that?
Yeah, so, like, it seems like Perrin has fully internalized his wolf state and is, like, also a human, but it does seem like he's gone more into it here, I felt. And I wonder,
are you concerned that he might be doing that? Like, he might go into that?
Exactly, Chris. Like, is this a sign for concern, or is this a sign that he's internalized it and he is like Elias and he's in safe territory?
I think he's more like Elias. I want to think that the wolf thing that we saw was hopefully like a dark hound, like being transitioned, or some sort of offspring of that. I don't know. Like, I hope it wasn't. I don't know. But that's my hope. But that's a really good question, and I'm hoping that he'll be more like a lion.
He does chew through a bone. Doesn't even realize it.
Yep.
When she says to smile like we're flirting, he bares his teeth.
Yeah.
He's all,
yeah.
And he's all like careworn.
Flirt with me.
His beard's too long and needs a trim. Like, he's kind of going feral.
What do you think, Carrie?
Well, I wanted to talk about my overall thoughts on this chapter, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So at the end of the last show, we left Perrin talking to, what was that guy's name? Belloir?
Yeah, Belloir. Seven Belloir.
Aaron was making a comment like, I don't think you can trust that guy. So the question I had leading into this next group of chapters was, who can Perrin trust in his camp right now? Like, is there anybody that he can trust?
I was tracking that too.
I felt like there was some unspoken things that were being said in these chapters. I really enjoyed chapter 6, 7, and 8. Mm-hmm. I honestly want to throw it out there that I actually feel that he can trust Verlaine the most. Even though she's perceiving it as a conflict of interest with her flirtatious ways, I feel like she's...
I agree.
One of his
absolutely.
best allies.
Is she aware of the problems
100%.
that she is bringing to Perrin right now, though, with these rumors?
I think she's doing it on purpose to make people think that she's not in alliance with him, like buddy, like, you know, you help me, I'll help you. But she wants them to think.
Doesn't them having sex make them look more like they're in alliance, though, not less?
Right? It made them look like less suspicious. They were saying that they'd rather people think that that's what was happening.
Not Perrin. Perrin's worried about it because he thinks it's going to get back to fighting.
Yeah, not Perrin.
Yes, Faiga's jealous. So.
But somebody at some point was like, anyways, I'll find it. I'll try to.
I mean,
but Berline does stand up for him. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, Perrin is continually feeling uncomfortable in her presence, but I feel like at some point he's doing it on purpose to create that show that, hey, she's helping me right now, but I'm not going to let you know. I'm going to keep it under wraps. So I feel like there's a new alliance brewing between them, which wasn't there before because he, a couple books ago, he couldn't stand the woman when Fayoum was so mad at him.
I still think she's manipulating the situation to make it look like they're more aligned than they actually are. But it is becoming true, I think, that... So I underline this. A simple flaw... So it talks about Berylane. A tall, beautiful young woman with a long black hair and a red cloak lined with black fur. A simple flaw lessened her beauty, though. She was not Fail.
She was not Fail.
So he's to the point now of like actively comparing her with Fail, whereas before he was kind of rejecting her. And so I actually underlined this and said, is this a slippery slope as well? Similar to the Wolf brother. Like, is he falling for her? If she did undo the tension with the Two Rivers folks by coming out and saying we never did it, would he like her more?
So I really think that Dana Liu has a great point here, and this is really what this feels very spot on. Yeah. Because she's doing things meticulously. She is a woman in power. They are underestimating her because they think that it's just about the relationship and it's just about that. And that is enough like gossipy chatter stuff to kind of take people's attention away momentarily, at least, to be able to get some real shit accomplished, you know?
As like a service, reality TV show service.
Well, and RJ does make a good point as far as society. So I pictured, let's just pretend that Berylane is like Pamela Anderson, right? And people just see her as like this figure instead of like thinking. So they would underestimate her. So if Pamela Anderson was like governor of California or something, a lot of people would be like, oh, but she could be the greatest governor ever. Right. We just never voted her in. But that's why I see Berylane like as being like this, like burdened by being super hot because she is.
Well, so good. Gnomon Garden. Oh my God. Out of the park again, Gnomon Garden. Oh my God. It's so good.
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I see her as being kind of burdened with this, with these good looks, but using it to her advantage. And she's like, all right, people, do underestimate me. They think that I'm a sex kitten. Fine, I'm going to use that. However,
and she does use it. That's the only reason that their country has not been overrun by their bigger neighbors, right? Is by her sexual machinations, or her at least manipulating men through romance, right?
Or
Right.
distracting them momentarily to get what she actually needs to get
Correct.
accomplished
Yes.
in the meantime. So I don't think it's like,
But with
this malicious thing. I think it's more meticulously like well thought out.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't she like promise Perrin that she was going to have sex with him? Didn't she like?
She did.
She like so. I mean, I guess this should not be discounted, right, Carrie?
No, you're right. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, or Kay, or whomever.
I mean, I still feel like she's manipulating people into thinking that she's just stupid and dumb, and she really has all these plans going on that we don't fully understand yet. I mean, she's really smart.
Who? Hang on a second. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but I just want to ask the question: who are the quote people that she's manipulating? Right now, she's with the Mayanners, the Carhinians who follow the Aiel themselves, and the Twin Rivers folk. Who is it that she's trying to manipulate right now? None of those. I don't
think she's trying
manipulation to think that she's a bimbo. Like,
yeah.
I'm not saying I disagree. Like, both can be true. I'm just
a good question because
right now.
That's the thing. I think both are true.
Maybe okay. What about because they're still camping near Massima's men, right? Like, what if she's trying to throw Massima off?
I guess that's another group who isn't that indeed paying attention for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
about the noble's responsibilities, the bargain between them and you to be presentable and like look like a lord, and like she continues to like have them put on this mask of like looking like they're flirting and having this romantic relationship, even in the face of Perrin like going after his wife. Like there's a little like cognitive dissonance there for me of like, why perpetuate that myth, but then also support what he's doing unless you that it's to make people think you're dumb. Go ahead, Kay.
Yeah.
No, I think that both can be true. Like you said, I really do. That's what I wrote down when you guys were talking because I thought I'd forget it.
Nice.
Like
nice.
really, that is like that. I think that both can be true. Like that's just it. She can be attracted to Perrin and still want to have sex with him and still know that like the rumors of any of that even like being a possibility for her, on her end even could be just like a good distraction so that she can get bigger things accomplished. She does do a lot of like backing Perrin up, like in these chapters, but like with her political like authority though, not in like I have a big bosom, so I'm gonna push you out of his way kind of thing. But like, she's actually doing something with her ability in like a powerful way and in the way that she has always known to do, even though like they say her country is a smaller country. Anyways.
Right. Mine is tiny. Yeah. And
but
she has
powerful.
been adept. Yeah. But we have, I mean,
so she could want to like bone him and want to like get her way with everything else too.
Sure,
and maybe it's all intertwined for her. Maybe
didn't she like swear to like? Isn't she like a liege to Perrin during this, or isn't she like sworn to him? I mean, he controls her guard, the wing guard.
I think he's sworn to help find his wife, but she's trying every effort to help find her.
Oh, yeah,
Definitely
because she was kidnapped while they were falconing with Berlin. Okay, that's right. Okay. All right, back. Is there anything else in this chapter, Carrie Kay or Josh?
No, I'm ready to move on.
All right. It just moves
One
on.
More.
Yes, please.
Twist in her saddle as if to look back.
Okay. I can.
And then licking her lips with the tip of her tongue.
I can get on board with this.
Nice.
All right. Now we can
Well
go forward.
All right. This one is chapter 7. It has the ravens, the 2 ravens, and it's called Blacksmith's Puzzle. Josh, is this the first time we've seen a blacksmith's puzzle? I'm just kidding. So Perrin is like, see, look, there's the steps, the footprints, whatever, the paw prints.
Paw prints.
And Aram's like, see, bitches, I told you. Let's see. There's all right. Let's see. They talk more about Darkhounds, I guess. Missouri has been around some Darkhounds, guys. She is hunted. She knows of 7 packs. She has seen 5 of them twice and 2 of them 3 times. She's hunted these things. She knows a lot about them, but this pack is the largest she's ever seen, and it's a new pack. She can tell by, I don't know, by using the force. It says, oh, go ahead.
Didn't she smell them too? Like, I thought that was interesting. Isn't that what Perrin does? Like, does she have Perrin's ability? Like, she mentioned something about smell.
Yes. Hold on. It says she does mention smell. She says, I don't know. She says that there's as many as 50 in this pack, where 10 or 12 is the usual limit. Yeah, I don't see where she says smell. I guess I didn't underline it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, smell is not the right word, and neither is flavor. The sense of each pack is unique, and I can say with certainty that I've never encountered this one before. So she does talk about it. Yeah. The smell is not the right word. Neither is flavor.
What is the right word?
A combination of the 2.
Essence? Musk? But we learned that they are single-minded in their hunt. They've run through villages and don't kill people. They just kill what they came for. That's all they want. It looks like they won't return. Otherwise, they would have already done shit. They all thought that they were after Perrin, including Perrin. What are these dark friends around for, guys? Are they just scouts? 50 of them are just scouts?
Hunting? I think they're hunting Rand. Yeah. And the Chosen Cow. I think that's what they're after. Because we know the channeling hasn't happened yet. Because it happens at the end of this chapter.
They're going after the people who are closest to Rand in the attempt to try to find what they're looking for. Because we already had that one failed attempt in, what was it, Rand's apartments. They were looking for the stuff and they couldn't find it. And I mean, who sent the Darkhounds? Do we ever talk about that? Like, is it the Forsaken or is it Rogue Ashaman? Like, who sent the Darkhounds?
That's a good question. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm asking you guys.
I don't know. Josh just left. So
I would probably guess
we are SOL.
Maybe it's a combination of Ashaman and Forsaken. I don't know. Are any Ashaman working with the Forsaken?
There you go. I have no idea. I cannot keep track.
Yeah, the Darkhounds. I mean, that's a good question. Are the Darkhounds like granted by the Dark One itself? Do they say, "All right, here's 50. Go do your stuff," or do they have just like kennels? Do Forsaken just have like a pack or 2 of Darkhounds they can just call? I mean, how's this work? How do these things work? How does the Gray Man work? How do the Golem? I mean, do they get
like
permission?
How are they commanded?
Yeah, I mean, how's the chain of command? Yeah. What do you think?
Well, Didn't it talk about how the packs are growing because they're eating on the souls of wolves? I mean, so they're obviously reproducing in some fashion. But yeah, who's commanding the dark hounds?
Maybe it's like maybe like each, I don't know. No, that doesn't make sense. I was gonna say like some first, like our Forsaken, some Forsaken like in charge of some of them, but I don't. What?
I would probably say one of the Forsaken. Whoever's looking for the keys to the.
What are the other ones? What are those other ones that no, because it's got to be some sort of like mind control type thing, it feels like. So it's got to be like somebody that can use maybe like some sort of compulsion, or maybe it is somebody like Elias who can speak to that type of animal, and even if it's been transformed into like a hideous beastie type animal, I mean, maybe it's something like that.
Hey, you make a wonderful point. Can Elias and or Perrin communicate with dark hounds?
Oh, that'd be cool if they could. And if they listen to them.
Skeeter just made me laugh out loud. Can you post his comment?
Was it this one? Dark hounds follow whomever gives the best dark sketch. The best dark. All right, yeah, well, all right. Because they're dark good yeah, so dark hounds are weird. Perrin is like, yeah, dark hounds are weird. And then he hears a bluebird trill, followed by a buzzing call of a masked sparrow. And he's like, oh, hey, guess what, guys? That means Maximus coming, and he's got some men with him. At least 100. Turns out he had like 200 to 300. Bearland's like, hey, we're just going to stay right here. Fuck it. We're doing what we want. Do what we want. It's our camp. We can do what we want. What? They can come to us. Everyone's like, all right. Well, Defender, I guess.
Some people are super scared, and then you got Aram, who's just like, bring it on. Like, let's battle.
Yeah, Aram is just like, has battle boner. He's like, oh, yeah.
Battle boner.
He's reaching back for his, so he can just.
What the hell is battle boner?
Oh,
You're just really excited to fight?
You know what battle boner is. Oh, yeah.
Is it like a reference to your sword, or is it like you're so excited to go into battle that you are aroused?
It is the latter.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Clarification.
Yeah, your adrenaline's pumping. You're like, ooh,
everything's pumping, huh?
Everything's pumping.
Blood's pumping everywhere.
So I've heard. I've never had a battle boner. Well, I've never been in like. Come on, I'm not in life and death situation.
Brother Dan, do you have legs?
Russ, come on, god damn it!
You don't have legs. I mean, you don't even.
No, I have legs.
You don't. Do you have legs?
Yeah.
Oh, but just not much of a crotch. You got a smooth area. It's fine.
Yeah, come on. Hey.
No battle boner for you.
Come on. If
and you're wearing a dress. I don't know if you noticed.
It's possible I could get a battle boner one day. Who knows?
Very
Let's
true.
not,
it could just pop out one day. Let's keep hoping. We will keep our fingers crossed for you, Brother Dan.
I get a boner. I'm like, geez, I guess I gotta go battle. I don't know. Either that or I gotta pee. I don't know. All right. See ya.
It'll descend one of these days. Don't worry.
It's been more than 4 hours. I should call my doctor. Either that or kill someone. All right. So Maximus shows up. He has like 200 or 300 people with him. They're galloping so freaking hard. Jump, just riding into the snow. One guy's like, falls. The horse falls on him. The horse is like flopping on his
this is the first grammar issue. So in my copy, it says, a horse went down with a scream and laying thrashing atop its rider.
Oh, mine says and lay thrashing.
Yeah, so there's a grammar issue here. And laying thrashing atop its rider.
Wait, how far into chapter 7 is this?
Page 213 in the hardback. It is 1, 2,
192 on
4,
mine.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pages in the hardback.
It's a long paragraph, actually, too.
It starts with, despite the sharply angled rays of light that penetrated.
Okay, that'll help.
Giggity.
That helps.
Okay, I found it. Okay, where was it in
Yeah.
that paragraph?
It's about halfway down. A horse went down with a scream and laying thrashing atop its rider.
Yeah, I think I noticed
Okay.
that when I read it too. I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, it's
Laying
Yeah, mine has
thrashing
that.
atop its rider. Mine says laying thrashing also.
also. But yours says lay thrashing, Dan?
Mine says lay thrashing.
Okay, which is what it should be. Or laid. Past tense,
Mhm.
but
I
says lay.
underline went down with the scream and lay thrashing atop.
cool. So that was the first
Wow,
one.
Josh. Okay, I think that there have been many more grammar errors in this entire
Well,
book.
I'm pretty attuned to grammar errors, and there's 2 on these 2 the next page, this page, and the next page, but I'm not seeing many others.
Okay,
but
you
again-
and you always read the book though too, so
I
you're
do.
actually
I
like
read the
paying
book.
attention to
And I also tend to read the Amazon version of the book. I'm not this time. I have the original paperback copy or hardback copy, so I think this is version 1. The Amazon versions all have the corrected text, so they won't have the.
okay. Yeah.
Because I'm sure whoever read these the first time reported those errors back.
Yeah. Right. I would
Mhm.
hope.
Yeah. Yeah. There was,
Yee.
mine says lay. I'm good.
So that's right. Yeah, that's good.
So Massimo writes
Ooh.
up. Massimo comes up with 2
Blowing
of his
hard and
homies.
steaming. Sorry.
Blowing hard and steaming.
Massimo rides
yes.
up. Yeah. Massimo rides up. Sorry. Oh, sorry. It really popped out of my page. Into my
He's
mouth
like-
and out of that.
His smell was the jangled, darting sharpness of pure insanity. Carrie,
Yes.
the sharpness of pure insanity. So let's talk, I guess, is Perrin getting better at smelling?
Yes, I think he's, like I said, he's
Mhm.
becoming more and more wolf. And I think this is, again, him really leaning into his wolf nature.
Mhm.
There's
I
so
agree,
many
yeah.
indications through these chapters of him.
He's the narrator's talking about it more and more. Like he's constantly smelling people and
Yeah, the
talking
narrator
and
is- Mhm.
hearing about it more. So
Maybe Perrin will end up gaining control of the Dark Hounds, like in the last battle, and maybe that's like how
That'd be
he
amazing.
inevitably like triumphs and helps Rand or
Next
something.
to their pack.
He could like
The
communicate
first
and,
wolf
and
who goes
he's
and
like
talks to them and therefore gains their trust. That's
or he
fucking
just
good.
like changes their mind or something, like somehow. Like he's standing up on a rock, like the Lion King, talking
that.
to all the Dark Hounds,
But he's
changing them
scarred.
into good hounds. Yeah,
Oh,
but
so
he's
good.
half insane and just trying to hold on to the last grip of sanity before he does turn into like that crazy wolf type thing that we saw in earlier books. Anyway, that was fun.
So the other grammar error I saw was this one. Like Massima, Nagar and Baratu were Shinaran. But like him, they had shaved off their top knots. And that should be and like him, not but like him. So what does yours say, Dan?
Like Massima, Nagar and Barta were Shinarans. But like him, they had shaved off their top knots, leaving bare heads with the look of skulls.
Okay.
So,
So
so they.
I think it should be an and, but I mean, that's a small detail.
Yeah.
It's not a but because they're the same. It's probably proper grammar still, but it doesn't feel like the right use of the word.
Yeah, they too were Shinaran, but like him, they had shaved off their top knots.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Mhm.
I think it should say and like him rather than but.
Yeah.
But
I agree. Because it's a more like inclusive thing. But I think you're right. You could go either way.
I
Probably.
think
People like
grammatically it probably is
oh,
fine either way. Yeah.
yeah.
I was just like
Yeah.
hot on the hunt for like grammar error. Like, oh, there's a fucking error.
You saw one and you're like, ooh. Josh puts on his grammar error like
Put on my
superhero
monocle and
suit.
just start looking
Nice up.
like close.
But like him, that's
Oh
a
my god. I need to totally make you like a beanie with like a monocle
on
that comes down. Yeah, and it'll just say like superhero Josh or something.
So Massima is embracing this profit roll to the nines, guys. Perrin says there were dark hounds here last night, but don't worry. He's like, why would I worry? He's
You're
like,
welcome, David.
quote, no one need fear the shadow who followed the Lord Dragon reborn. May the light illuminate his name. Even in death, they will find the final victory of the light. What? What is this? What is this? Is this new? Is this something that is this new? The Massima is like becoming like talking about the afterlife. Have we? I don't know.
I honestly don't know.
Anyways, he's promising life.
I mean, again, it's messianic expectation. Like, you believe in the great Lord, the Dragon Reborn, and you will. I mean, how else is he getting control of these insane people, right? He's like, the afterlife's going to be that much better for you because you followed.
Sure, I mean, and that's always been the
the
rub,
the stick, right?
the rub for religion. Yeah, that they know that this is the way that that happens. This is
you're going to
mystery
bet
that
in
replaced
the
the mystery.
afterlife, Dan. Aren't you excited?
Right. It's
I mean, you've never had sex and don't know how to work. Oh, sorry.
No, it's the mystery that replaced the mystery, which is fine. But I don't know if there's scriptures that suggest this in the Carathian cycle. I don't know. I mean, I'm wondering, is he making this shit up, or is there actual is there talk about life after death and stuff in this? Anyways, we're probably too. Yeah.
Is there? I mean, they have so many other worlds going on, like Teleonrad and like so many.
This does fly in Ryan's face of being like, oh, there's no organized religion and the Wheel of Time. Well, now we've got the White Cloaks and we've got Massima's followers, both looking very much like organized religion.
Yeah. Especially if they're talking about if the light leads after salvation. Yeah.
Life.
All right.
Reward.
They talk. Massimo talks about this town called Sohaber. It's Sohaber, guys.
Sohaber.
Man, this town is Sohaber. I've seen some Haber towns, but this one is Sohaber.
This one's the Haber.
It has storehouses full of barley and shit, and it's just ripe to eat from because these guys were greedy. They were trying to hold off until the market needed them, and then they were going to flood. They were going to.
Doesn't the verb in Latin haber mean like to hold or has?
Are you still talking grammar, Josh?
Well, he's talking Latin grammar now. It's a dead language.
Oh, good. Let's talk about that.
The root of the word habor means to have, and they have granaries. I don't know. Sorry, I'm nerding out over here, but
yeah, no, nerd out, please. They were, it was like this. They were coaxing Perrin to kind of go to the Sohaber. But he was like, nope, got to free my wife. Sorry.
Good night, Callie.
Bye, Callie. Everything comes first.
Hi, Callie.
The line that this is how Massimo responds to all the thing about him saying he needs to free his wife is, what is done to serve the light must be done. Everything else is dross and trash. Remember that, Lord Perrin Golden Eyes. Dross and trash. And then, quote, jerking his sorrel around. Does that work?
Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay.
I accept. Popped in just in the
Maximus
nick of time.
wins. But Aaron, then comes Elias and a maiden of the script. So they all go to the maiden den. And that goes to chapter 8. What in chapter 7 did I miss, Carrie?
Let me check my notes.
Okay.
Yeah, the Latin word habor means I have.
So habor.
Oh, so aboard. So
The main
very
thing is
aboard.
Massima's trying to get Perrin to go to this town that has all the supplies, and there's a funny line here that Perrin smells a trap, and it did not take a wolf's nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was good. I liked that. I heard that. That's nice. Good luck.
But yeah, that's all I have.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to chapter 8 because they here comes Elias and his maiden Elienda.
One last drinking obligation.
Please.
She comes first.
She comes first. All right.
She always does.
I mean, if you're a gentleman or a lady, whatever. Anyways, moving on. Chapter 8.
Let's see. Elias spills beans. He's like, bro, there's like 10,000 of these dudes around. It's like a big city. It's big. Perrin has less than 2,000 lancers, fewer than 300 Two-River men. And it looks like they have probably 10 seps of Aes Sedai or of Aiel, which doing the math to carry the one, blah, blah, blah. It looks like they have at least 50 women who could channel, maybe more. Aram's like, fuck them. Shido can't be worse than Trollocs. We beat Trollocs, we can beat Shido.
Yeah, that was funny.
Elias is like, oh yeah? You did a pincer move. How are you going to do a pincer move here? It's like, wow. Or catch him in a vice, I guess, is how I did. But they were like, hey, how about, will they accept a ransom? Parents like, nope. Nip, bud. We're not doing the ransom. Because then we're putting all our eggs in that basket. No, we're going to rescue them. Do it. And besides, I ain't paying these fuckers to steal my wife. These people are going to pay. They're not going to profit off this. Boo. It says, quote, she would be afraid and they would have to pay for that, not profit from it. He's like,
my jewels are at your disposal, Perrin.
Yes, I underlined that as a drinking obligation. Exactly.
That's a good
My
one.
jewels are at your disposal.
My jewels.
Nice.
My jewels. It's the next Megan Thee Stallion song.
So he's like, Aram, get Grady. Grady's our doorman. Our gateway man, but our doorman. Like, all right, cool. Elias, they talk about this pack again. It's a big pack, bigger than anything I've seen or heard of.
So, one second. So we get to this passage about Nat Torfin with his wrinkled face and thin white hair, who could dissemble any blacksmith's puzzle by touch. For years, Perrin tried to learn how to duplicate that feat, but never could. He had to see how the pieces fit together before he could make sense of them. So is this Perrin recognizing his own limitations and being fully realized in himself? Or, like, are we seeing pure Perrin here? Like, is this his, like, maximal state where he's self-realized and really, like, so cognizant? Or is it him putting kind of, like, false limitations on his own abilities?
What do you ladies think? Do you have thoughts?
Well, which part was it exact? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Carrie. I was just.
No, I mean, are you talking about in general the whole topic about the blacksmith's puzzle, like as is discussed throughout these chapters?
Not so specifically, but more in the abstract sense of like Perrin's view of himself is that he's not very smart, and that he is kind of a dullard. And that he thinks kind of lowly of himself, whereas Massima at the end of the chapters from last show was praising him, saying like, "You're much more brilliant than you think, right? Like, but you don't have any hidden snares, no hidden blades for me to cut myself on." So is this Perrin in his fullness, self-realized, being like, "Oh, I really need to see the thing before I can understand it"? Or is this Perrin in his self-doubt saying, I can't understand something unless I see it? Does that make sense?
Are you saying that's why he wanted to see the Shido camp to get a feel for what it looks like, so he can then
you see that
make
later,
a plan of action?
I actually see it with my eye. Now I can like conceptualize this plan and make my next steps. I don't know the answer. I mean, I think it can go either way. I feel like it's the self-realized Perrin seeing like, oh, this is my way of being in the world. This is my best approach. I'm fully actualized, recognizing my own limitations, and in his ultimate form, exactly like
Yeah. I mean, that's
in life through that lens.
That's what feels like. That feels accurate to me because. Yeah, it just it through everything else that we've heard Perrin talk about, through like smelling different emotions and then like realizing, you know, like how we were speaking about how he was like realizing his own emotions earlier on, you know, and he really did seem to understand, like even when he would notice like that he wasn't feeling an emotion when he should have been feeling an emotion, or he was feeling that emotion earlier in the same situation or a similar one, but then he wasn't. And so he's like really self-actualized, I think, at this moment. And yeah, I think that's more so what is happening from my perspective.
I'm going to take it like a slightly different approach on this. I feel like he's gaining more confidence in himself and his abilities to see things through. You know, one of my personal mottos is, you know, you could do anything if you put your mind to it. And I feel like Perrin is now realizing that he has all the tools necessary to, you know, get his wife out of that camp. And it doesn't matter if there's like 10,000 or 10 million. He's going to come up with a plan and he's going to make it happen. He's just very confident.
So I think that adds credence to this idea that this is him as his fully actualized self, recognizing his own limitations, living through them, and embodying that. Because there's like, it's basically Perrin authentic as opposed to Perrin self-doubt. And I think what you're saying is you agree, like that this is all part of his own maturation and like becoming full.
Jesus.
I don't understand him. He's like my favorite character of the three. He's so much more human and like not a dick than Rand or Matt.
The way that I was reading it,
Yeah, do you read it as self-doubt or as actualization, Dan?
I read it as him just hearing numbers and saying, "Show me." Yeah, I just want to see it. Let me see what I'm working with. He pulls out his little like eyeglass. Bloop, bloop, bloop. I mean, he wants to see it. It's like people can tell him shit, but I'm the same way. If I can see it and I have someone that could just make a gateway and take me there, I'll do that instead. But that's just me. So I'm not sure if it's him being like self-actual. I think him just really wanting to get a perspective on what he was facing is how I kind of see it.
I don't know why, but I'm feeling like this is like a game of chess where he has to suddenly think multiple steps ahead in order to accomplish his goal. And it is like a true puzzle. Like if you want to win the game, you have to think several steps ahead. And I think that's what he's doing through what you said, Josh, becoming his full potential.
Mm-hmm.
He's able to now tap into those abilities and senses that will help him accomplish what he's trying to do.
And if I guess I agree, yeah, exactly, Carrie. And that's kind of the direction I was leading with this. Is like, if this is his full potential, then, and we've seen that he's becoming more and more wolf, I think those two things are one and the same, right? Like, by embracing his nature as a wolf brother and like learning to more trust his intuition, his empathy, and like these other aspects of himself, he's becoming more Perrin, more authentic Perrin. And therefore, so whether or not he's following the pattern to rescue Fael or not, this is an important part of his self-development and the expression of himself as the fullest Perrin that he can be, which makes me love him even more.
Right, and he does fight down through that whirlpool of colors at the very end. But before we get there, he's talking to Elias. Elias is talking about how they can suck the souls out of wolves and turn into a new pack. And Perrin asks, quote, "Can they eat a man's soul, Elias? Say a man who can talk to wolves?" Elias shrugged. Any thoughts? Are these a peril to Elias and Perrin? Can they eat their souls?
Well, he's worried that if he's part wolf, he's going to have his soul sucked out of him.
Right. You can get his soul sucked.
Soul sucker. Fucking wolf brother, or dark shadow brother energy vampires.
Right. Here's the drinking obligation. Quote, "Wise one slid to the ground, shaking down her thick skirts." No?
You're not alone, Shadow Herman, at all.
All right. I'll drink.
I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it's a fine one.
No, I'll drink alone. Fuck it.
Drink.
I don't need
Now
your
you're drinking alone, are
I don't need your validation.
you?
In fact, I finished the beer. I drank it all. Here's to your point earlier, Josh. Quote, Perrin folded himself in tighter around his anger, embracing the heat for energy.
I really loved, continuing from our discussion last show about Perrin as the hammer versus Perrin as the axe, and him forging himself. There's so many beautiful parallels and soliloquies and synonym, like ways that he's forging his anger through these chapters to harden himself, build himself. Like, I stopped counting them, but there's a 2-digit number of occurrences, this kind of thing, of him folding in the anger on itself, and like all
but
these.
He seems self-aware of this as he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He also, in that same paragraph, he says, Perrin wondered how he himself smelled. And he says he did not think he smelled of panic, just fear and anger.
And this is another bit of him looking so self-aware, a problem that he had to set aside while keeping it in mind. Like, his emotional intelligence has like just skyrocketed. He can now like be triggered and like set the thing on the shelf and like pursue what's in front of him. Again, it just feels like Fael's being taken only helps to hone his abilities, self-worth, and actualization. So whether or not it's part of his Devarenness or not, it's like a critical part of like him becoming the person he needs to later become. And again, I have quote, smithing himself. He folded himself in tighter around his anger, embracing the heat for energy. It's like, that's like number 22, like, of metaphors about this, right? But,
right. And also in that same paragraph, Arganda is still as a statue, yet radiating impatience as a fire radiated heat. Yeah, all these forge metaphors and stuff. But I do love the self-awareness. Again, Josh, you kind of may have hit it with his self-actualized. Was he the man in full? What was the term you used?
The fullest Perrin that he could be. I mean,
like where he's wondering how he himself smells, and that I don't know. That is meta awareness that only Matt seems to have up until now.
I did underline this sentence too. He kept Stepper moving and refused to listen. To make that attempt was to gamble everything on one toss of the dice.
That was Perrin?
Yeah, a dice metaphor in Perrin's thoughts. I thought that was an interesting one.
I do have another obligation. Quote, there's two of them. Quote, beside the track marked stone, Anora jerked. And it goes on, widened into an opening, a hole.
Nice. Back and forth.
I love it. How you doing, Carrie?
Doing pretty good. I think chapter 8 has been my favorite chapter so far in the book, and I can't explain why. It's just a lot of cool stuff happening.
Super cool stuff, yeah.
Grady makes a gateway.
Yeah, it struck Perrin that the gateway was larger than the first of Grady's make. The first one of Grady's make that he had passed through. He had to dismount then. It was a vague thought. No more important than a fly buzzing. It's like so fucking important that like this Ashamon's power has like increased, but he's just like, oh, whatever. Like,
right.
This doesn't fit my mission right now, you know.
Also, we see him talking with Elias, and Elias is describing where they're going. He's like, if you fuck this up, you're gonna fuck up everything.
Right.
You gotta land us here. He's like, I got you, boo. He's like, is that it? And he's like, yeah, that's it. Good job. We learn a couple more plant names. There's a dead cat's claw and a wait a minute vines. Wait a minute vines are rad. It's like, all right, I'm trying to get through this bramble, and these vines are like, wait a minute. And you're like, all right, I got to pick myself out of this thing. Oh, no, a dead cat claw just stabbed me. Oh, more wait a minutes. Oh.
Their breathing began to grow heavier.
Ba-ba-ba-ba! Welcome back.
It.
Yeah.
What would you rather get step on or walk through in a jungle? Okay, dead cat's claw or wait a minute vines?
Oh my god, that was so funny. Those are the funniest names ever. Yeah. Oh my god. Wait a minute, vines. It sounds like they'd just be like, hey, hold on. Okay, now you can go. Oh, thank you. I missed you too, chat. I missed you too. I always do when I step away for even a second.
Oh my gosh. Yes, we also missed it last show too.
What's that?
Bella.
Oh, wait, what?
I don't know where that came from, but
And we're back, baby.
And we're back.
Bella.
Getting them all in the Bellas.
Love it. The best.
Whoops, Bella.
Oh, that's just me. No, Bella. I didn't say. I said love you guys. During
So
Bella.
Whoops, all Bellas is like, I think that should be my next YouTube name.
I think so too. So Perrin gets up to the ridge. He crawls on his belly. He's like, gets out his little spyglass. And what do you know? There's a fuck ton of people down there. Like that's the definition.
Fuck ton.
Yeah.
Fuck ton.
That's
He's
accurate.
looking for women in white. There's thousands upon thousands of women, just counting those in white.
Way too many.
Apparently, what's her name?
It's raining men. I mean, raining women.
It's raining women in white.
It's raining wise women. Hallelujah.
That's what Marlene says. She's like, too many. And Perrin's like, fuck you, too many. I'll get them all. She's like, no. The wise women. She says, wherever I look, I can see a woman channeling. Just for a moment here, a moment there. Wise ones do not channel all the time, but they are everywhere I look. Too many to be the wise ones of 10 seps. She says, I think maybe all the Shido wise ones are down there. All who can channel. And Perrin's like, all of them? Grown. Good grief.
Shido Lilith Fair.
No, Shido Lilith Fair, yeah. They're all wearing just white burlap. Gross.
And singing folk songs.
So they figure that there's 400 to 500 there. To your point, Josh, she says, do not growl at me, Perrin Elvira.
Yeah, exactly. That was the other one I was going to point out. Yeah.
Yes. Nice.
And he's like, yeah, man, I could wander for fucking a week in there and I still couldn't find her. I don't know what's going on. There's just so many women in white. So many. But he...
How many? And then somebody says, all of them.
All those. He can see the puzzle now, though. And Nat Torfin had always said any puzzle could be solved once you found out where to push and where to pull. And he also notices that he does not have a single drop of hopelessness.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He sees that there's roads leading away. He sees, quote, a row of arches like a long, narrow bridge stretched down the slope from the nearest windmills all the way to the city walls. And he's like, what is that? And they're like, oh, that's how it's for water, Sulin says. And she's like, you think to stop their water supply? That would surely make them come out. But
so, quote, there were men and women too, but his eyes skipped past them hungrily, ignoring them. Thousands upon thousands of women.
I love the smile at the end.
Hungry eyes. Sludge.
Oh no, I lost my.
He's got.
Get my drink.
Hungry.
I did. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry.
So he looks at that. Sulin's like, "Oh, that'll bring him out, or whatever." And then suddenly he gets this big blast of
water.
Rand and Nynaeve sitting. Well, how are you guys picturing this point of view, Carrie? This image that he sees, is he seeing them in silhouette, where they're sitting like across from each other? Is he seeing them from above? How are you picturing this image?
I'm picturing it like he's watching a movie, like he's up close and is like right side by side with them, not like from above.
Okay. Is that how you guys see it?
Kind of like just like like right there in front of him, kind of like as maybe like a see-through type of not fully formed figures, but just the essence of like he knows that's what he's seeing, you know, like a dream, maybe like the way it might look in a dream or something.
Like an artistic impression,
not like a perspective. It's not like a hallucination in front of him, but I think it's just like it in front of his like mind's eye and he's seeing it kind of thing.
Like a hologram? Like it's translucent?
No, like more like in his mind's eye, like not visually in front of him, but more so like he's seeing this image, you know, I don't know.
The way it's described is very much like a psychedelic hallucination. Like
Yeah,
he's going into a trance. He's like
actually in his mind, you know?
yeah,
Not like as if he's a viewer, but that he's there in the moment.
yeah. I think I started by saying one thing and then I just changed to something else. I was like, I think this, and then I shifted gears. But I don't know. Maybe it's a hologram. That's a good idea, Carrie. Maybe does that sound like that?
It says here, all right, the colors erupted inside Perrin's head, an explosion of hue so strong that sight and hearing vanished.
Mm-hmm.
All sight except for the colors themselves, at least. Yeah, total trip. They were a vast tide, as if all the times he had pushed them out of his head had built a dam that they now smashed aside in a silent flood, swirling in soundless whirlpools that try to suck them under. An image coalesced in the middle of it. Rand and Nynaeve sitting on the ground facing one another, as clear as if they were right in front of him. He had no time for him, and clawing at the collars like a drowning man clawing for the surface, he forced them out with hyphens between each word.
See, now that is the part, I guess, that makes me think that it's more so like, I don't know,
drowning
in his mind. But it's just consuming him. Yeah.
Grady starts mentioning shit. This is crazy. No one can handle that. That's what Marlene says. The same thing. They ask, "Is it the Forsaken or the Dark One?" Perrin's like, "It's just Rand. It's his business. The name's Paul. That's between them all. Don't worry about it. It's Rand." He tells Suland he needs prisoners. And Nora's like, Perrin, there's some fucking shit going on. Like, there's some shit going on. She says, quote, "Something is happening, perhaps wonderful, perhaps terrible, but in any case momentous, more so than anything in recorded history. We must know what. Grady can take us there. We need to know." He's like, "I told you what it is. It's Rand. Fucking chill." She's like, "Oh my god." Worse. That's gotta suck. I feel bad for Honora. She's like, come on. The band's doing an encore. And he's like, "No, we're going to leave for parking. It's much easier if we just leave now."
But I really want to see the last song. It's always my favorite song that they play last.
No, we'll hear it on the radio. I'll play it.
Yeah. You've heard it 10,000 times already. Let's go.
And that's pretty much how it ends. Anything else about Perrin before we jump into Fail? Y'all?
I'm Lord of Perrin. Let's do Fail. I'm just kidding.
I feel like Perrin was in the visions of color longer than Matt was. I think Matt forced it out sooner than he did, maybe. I could be wrong.
What does that mean?
Well,
yeah, Perrin seemed very strong.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like curious, but he's also, I don't want to say he's scared of it, but like Matt seemed really scared of it as soon as he got in there and saw the colors. So I just feel like Matt doesn't want nothing to do with this stuff, but Perrin's like more self-aware of it and understanding of it.
I thought it was because Matt has all these other memories inside of his head. And so he's not really just himself anymore.
Yeah.
So he's less affected by it. But that was just a theory.
Yeah, that's true. He's got a lot going on all the time. He's constantly remembering other memories from past lives and or other people's memories. Matt's got a lot going on.
I like the last paragraph of chapter 8. Like the last line, it says, his work lay in front of him, a puzzle to solve, Fail to free, and the Shido to destroy. That was all that mattered in the world.
Yep. Yeah.
Again, not even thinking about Rand or the end of times, right?
Nope.
Like just only in the now.
Mhm.
And what's in front of him. Yeah.
Let's jump to chapter 9. Chapter 9 is Fail, and it is called Traps. It has a cool bird as the icon. I don't think we've really seen this one. Maybe once before.
It's Fael's. Isn't it Fael's icon, the falcon?
Is that the falcon?
It is, yeah, the falcon.
Yeah.
She is a prisoner. She's in this camp. We find out that the camp is in a town called that was called Malden. And she is, let's see, she is on her way. She has a basket of laundry, silk laundry. She is property of Savannah. She has a broad mesh belt, tiny golden links around her waist, and a close-fitting collar to match, marked her as one of Savannah's servants. But she is talking to one of the wise ones and spilling the beans. Apparently, all of Savannah's servants are pretty much saying everything that they hear Savannah say. Savannah, just as a reminder, is the wise one who never went to that fucking
clan leader.
Yeah, it wasn't Tellerant. It was
Ruidian? No.
Ruidian. Yeah, Ruidian.
Yeah.
She never went there that we know of. But anyways, the Shido, once Couladin died, there was no clan leader. She's been kind of the interim clan leader in the meantime. And Fael has been spilling the beans about her. There is a drinking obligation, quote, chosen out for further punishment, sometimes a night, bound and gagged on top of a beating.
Oh, ouch.
What? I promised Dobie there would be a couple.
Right?
There's a lot in this chapter.
There's a lot, yeah. We learn from Fael there are a lot more people than Perrin even sees. She says, quote, there were 10 septs gathered here, more than 70,000 Shido, and nearly as many Gai Shang. It's 140,000 people, guys. There were over 400 wise ones in the camp. And this is when all that shit's going on with Rand and Nynaeve, because everyone who can channel is looking to the north like, oh, man, look, it's the Northern Lights, guys. You can see it. By the way, I saw the Northern Lights when it blasted. It was awesome.
That's so amazing. Oh, those photos were incredible. Did you post any on Discord?
I don't think I did. I'll have to. I was with Light Blinded Fool, who was in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible. Oh, I'm so jealous, but so happy that you got to see that. Because
it's so good.
Yeah. Wow.
So Fael's walking to like the wash area. She's bringing her laundry, but there's a lot of people carrying buckets of water around. Water's a big fucking deal apparently in this town. There's water movement is a big deal. She sees Shiad. She's like, "Hey, Shiad." She's like, "Hey, Bane and I took your two friends and let them go about 3 days ago. They should be good." She's like, right on. That's 2 less people I gotta fucking deal with. Thank you. She's like, hey, when I leave, why don't you come with me? Because then our odds are better, and I like you, and you should come with me. And she adds like, I fucking have already told you it's Giotto. I can't leave. I got to spend a year and a day. Stop asking me. A year and a day. And she walks off. It's like, oh, well. She says, quote, I will wear white for a year and a day, and they will release me, or I will walk away, but I will not throw away who I am. And Fayo's like, damn it, I shouldn't have mentioned that. I shouldn't have mentioned that. Fayo runs into a huge dude. Huge dude. He's about 7, he says, perhaps 7 feet tall and thick in proportion. And he says, you're very pretty, smells like wine. She's like, well, hey, leave me alone. I'm Savannah's Guy Shan. He's all, she's got a bunch of them. She won't miss you for an hour. And picks her up and carries her off to an alley for his own pleasure. It says, abruptly the monster carrying her stopped. And she hears a voice, I made this one, Guy Shan Nadrick. Another deep voice said. She belongs to Savannah now, brotherless. But he says, Savannah takes what she wants, and I do too. He says, I didn't give it. I didn't never give her to Savannah. I never offered to trade her. Do you abandon your honor? He's like, she's ugly anyways, and drops her. Gross. This was a giant man who was physically carrying property to go, we assume, assault. But rolling, keep them doggies rolling, right? Get him up, move him out, get him up. Roland comes to the rescue, and Roland reminds him. I mean, Roland probably would have lost this fight. Dude was 7 feet tall and full of muscles. But he reminded him who he was, and the guy's like, oh, fucker, and walked away. He's like, hey, hi, yeah, remember me? I'm the one that made you, Guy Shan, remember? Yeah, yeah. I kind of
I've been watching you.
Yeah, I've been following you.
Stalking you.
Yeah.
But, I just want you to smile. This is so bizarre and creepy.
Yeah. And that reminds me of like those gross guys that are like, hey, you know what? Hey, sweetheart, you look pretty when you smile. Well, you should smile more. You look pretty.
Oh my God, right?
You really should smile. Hey, come on. Why you look so scared and sad? You really should smile.
There is nothing that will turn a person off faster than shit like that. Men just note. I mean, right? Yeah, that's super creepy.
He does say nicely though. He's like, yeah, you should laugh. And she's like, I'm a slave, dummy. Fuck. He's like, yeah, I'm still, I'm pretty funny though. I'm going to make you laugh. I've been working on a routine. I'm going to make you laugh. I've been doing improv classes. He says, quote, I have no wife, but I can make a woman laugh. Sometimes I have heard you have sometimes I have heard you have a husband. She's like, yes, I have a husband. I love him so much. He's so handsome. He could totally beat you up. He's so strong. Oh, my husband. Oh yeah, his penis. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so satisfying. It's like, oh, it fits me perfectly. Oh my gosh, it's everything. I think that's what he said.
Basically, right?
Hi, Josh. He's like, well, fuck it. You know what? When in Malden, things in Malden stay in Malden. Yeah. We don't talk about what happens in Malden. Don't worry about it. Quote, what happens while you are Guy Shan cannot be held against you when you put off white. But perhaps you wetlanders do not see it that way. Still, it can be lonely when you are Guy Shan. Perhaps we can talk sometimes. And she's like, yeah, that would be rad. That would be so rad. Thank you, Roland. I have to go do laundry now. And he's like, oh, yeah, go do your laundry. So she goes, there's Alejandra, the old queen. She's doing laundry too. But Roland like carries her basket all the way over. He drops it off. He's like, see you later.
With one hand.
Yeah, also, no, you just like a pizza.
There you go. Plop.
Alejandra's like, and she's like, oh no, he's one of the brotherless. He's flirting with me. Don't worry about it. And Alejandra's like, psh, I'd fuck him if he got me free. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Quote, if he helped me escape, I would marry him. Or not, as he wanted. He's not quite pretty, but it wouldn't be painful. And my husband, if I had one, would never have to know. If he had any sense, he would be overjoyed to have me back and ask no questions he did not want answers to. Like, hey, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And Fayo's like, you are gross. You're gross. Roland? Ew. But she asks where Megan is. Megan is trying to steal the ivory rod from Tharava's tent. Apparently that's what Galena wants. They're all in this pickle. Galena's like, hey, Fail, I know your parents' husband. I know that Savannah would flip her shit if she knew that she had his wife, Rand's best friend, his wife here. Oh man, So you got to go steal shit from Tharava and give it to me. Not the easiest thing to do. Tharava's a scary woman. Everyone's scared. But that's what Galena wants. She comes. Then Tharava or Galena starts like grabs her by the hair and she's like, listen, bitch, listen. I'm gonna fucking get you. And she gets knocked over by Aravine. Aravine walks up, saves Fayo. She's like, hey, Savannah wants you. They walk over. She's like, hey, before we go, come on over. You need to see this. And there on a wagon was Fayo's two friends, the one she was trying to get rid of. Arella and Lucille. They were brought back this morning. They're all tied up. It says, quote, they will be untied before dark since it's the first time they tried to escape, though I doubt there will be any conditional walk before tomorrow. And then she swears fealty to her. Says, quote, I, Aravine Carneon, do pledge my fealty and obedience in all things to the Lady Fael Tiabara. She's like, how do you fucking know me? She's like, I heard. She's like, all right, fine. She says, accept my oath and take me with you. I can be trusted. And she says, quote, I do accept your pledge and will defend and protect you and yours. She goes into Savannah's tent. There's Tharava's there as well. They're talking about 10 more steps are going to join. But they're arguing about whether they should leave because of this big force of the power that was going on. Tharava's like, we should get the fuck out of here. This is scary. We should go to the mountains. They'll find us there. Savannah's like, this town is stocked, baby. Why are we going to leave? Don't worry about it. Ends up, Savannah makes the call. She's like, I'm the decider. And says a quote, 2 drinking obligations right in the same paragraph. Quote, Savannah fingered her.
Nice.
Quote, her mouth tightened and she seemed hungrier for it.
Nice. All right, I've got 2 also. Wide-eyed and breathless. and double handful to her mouth.
Nice.
Oh no!
I got another one. Everybody inside 100 paces could hear you squealing and begging.
Nice. Love it.
Gary, you got one?
I have one towards the end of the chapter. I don't know if you want me to go there yet.
Yeah. Just throw it out there. Yeah.
Okay, guys, my first one. It's so obvious. This is when she's getting her massage from Roland.
Yeah.
And let's see. The man put an arm around her chest and the other across her bent knees. Suddenly she realized the pressure was gone from her elbows. He had squeezed her. One of his hands began working at her thigh, and she almost screamed as his fingers dug into knotted muscles.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I was like, what is going on there?
You found a whole paragraph. That's amazing.
There's one other one here. Gail opened her mouth to demand more.
Nice. Excellent.
You guys are so good at this now. So that's Savannah and Tharana. Savannah's like, hey, Fayo, what is this? And she pulls out a knife. It's the knife that Fayo had hidden so well. Apparently, Galena ratted her out. The little
traitor,
little mink. And she's like, Tharana, should I kill this bitch? And she's like, nah, but quote, I think she was planning to run away, Savannah, but I think she can learn to do as she is told. And then we find that she is naked and tied up and laying on a table. It says, quote, the Shido were good at learning what shamed wetlanders, and they use shame as a punishment. Quote, her wrists had been tied behind her, and then her ankles had been doubled back and tied to her elbows. The other tying, I didn't read it out loud, but I will for Dovey's sake, just so. It says, two women lay on a rough wooden pallet, naked and cruelly hogtied, shivering in the cold, yet panting as if they were running.
For Dovey's sake.
For Dovey's sake. So it turns out that this position...
It's such a shibari. Like, this entire end of the chapter is just shibari. You know what shibari is, right? The Japanese rope tying suspension.
I thought it was a
modification.
The stupid eel.
No, shibari. It's like method of restraining captives in a form of torture, but it's become kind of like a kink binding thing.
Yes.
I mean, again, Robert Jordan just expressing his sexual fantasies in terms of the novel.
Totally.
But this isn't an art form. They were cruelly naked and cruelly hogtied.
So we know more about how he likes it. I mean, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
Perhaps.
So here they were tied behind her, and their ankles had been doubled back and tied to her elbows. So it's more or less like the feet. The feet are back.
I mean, shibari started as a form of torture too, and it's become something more, right?
The arms are back, so it's a classic hog tie.
Yeah, hog tie.
You know,
I'm so glad that you have puppets to show us how this is done.
Classic. It's a classic hog tie, you know. But even as I'm picturing doing it to this puppet, like my hamstring wants to like cramp up. And imagine if you're hogtied and you get a cramp, like one of those like bad cramps in your hamstring. Holy moly. And it seems like that's what's going on with Fayo. It says the cramps began to burn in her legs, her shoulders, her sides, bunching muscles that seemed on fire, twisting tighter and tighter and tighter. She focused on screaming. But then a man's voice says, quote, Savannah ordered that you were to remain here till dawn, Fayo Bashir, but she did not say you cannot have company. And it's Roland. rolling. Keep them doggies rolling. And he has like a brassiere. He puts that heated thing right under the table, feels better. Her muscles start to like loosen up a little bit. And as Carrie read, he like cradles her naked ass body in his hand and starts like working on the cramps and muscles in her thighs. In a really personal manner, I guess. I mean, she is naked, but she likes the relief. It says,
I feel like
the blessed warmth.
Easily as complicated as Matt and the Queen. I mean, there's some shit. This is not consensual, right?
Power dynamic is rough. What position is she in to refuse this right now? He says, you do not mind if I occupy myself while I try to think of a way to make you laugh, do you? And this is him like rubbing her legs.
Mm-hmm.
And she starts to laugh
more.
I guess here's the one thing we didn't really talk about is the fact that Fael is trying to plan her own escape. She has everything in her mind like set. She's like, all right, and Perrin's going to fuck this up. If Perrin shows up, he has no idea what he's going to get into. And even if he does, he's not going to stop. He is a stubborn man who does stubborn things. She's like, please, God, don't let Perrin overreact on this. And yet Perrin, at the same time, is overreacting, perhaps. What do you think is going on as far as their plans? Are they going to coincide? Are they going to counteract? Any thoughts?
Who, Perrin? Or
Perrin wants to go in and rescue her. Fael's like, please, Perrin, don't rescue me. I'm fine. I'm fine. And in fact, she sent those two off saying, go find Perrin and tell him not to come. I got this handled. Don't worry. Is Perrin going to Carrie? Do you think Perrin is going to hinder her escape plans, or vice versa?
No. I think he's going to go in there after her. But yeah, what do you think, Carrie?
This is a hard question to answer because right now I'm thinking about how many people are there and how the hell is he going to rescue just one person, or technically more than one person. He has to rescue all the people that got captured with her.
Yeah.
How are they going to keep them safe and not get killed in the process? I mean, it's like a traveling city because there's so many of them. Like they're going from place. Even if you rescue them, what's to say that you're not going to be overrun by them later on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully the Ashaman and gateways, but
yeah.
We're talking a city that extends for a mile in all directions, and they're in the middle, right? Then we're also talking. It sounded like 140,000 people around.
I feel like the allusion to the what's it called? The cistern? No, the thing that brings water into a city in ancient cities.
Aqueduct.
The aqueduct. Thank you. I think the aqueduct being referenced in the previous chapter is the key. They're going to somehow use the aqueduct to enter, unbeknownst to the rest of the Shido, and they're going to hone in on Fael and Star Wars style, like, escape just her out of this fucking Imperial battalion super destroyer with 10,000 people on it, without being noticed.
Okay, so you think that she is not going to escape, she is going to be rescued.
I would be shocked if Perrin does not rescue her.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so you're on board with Perrin rescuing her as opposed to
I think
Fael
that's what's going to happen. I think he's an idiot for doing it because I think she is super strong and she does have her shit like handled. She knows what she's doing and she is super smart and crafty. So I think that, she might be right in the fact that like he's going to completely fuck up everything. when he does show up, because he also is like, he's got such a wishy-washy plan too. He's like, he knows it. Even once I get there, it would take me forever to friggin' find her. Like, I couldn't sift through those people in days, and they'd all be caught and killed by then. So like, it just, yeah, I think he's definitely gonna go after her though.
I think it's coming. I think in the next 5 chapters, she's going to be rescued.
Yeah.
Carrie, what do you think?
Okay, here's what I think is going to happen, and I'm probably totally wrong. Perrin's going to capture some prisoners.
Right.
They're going to steal their clothes. They're going to wear the Gaishan white. They're going to sneak in through the aqueducts. And they're going to like try to like not draw too much attention to themselves, but they're somehow going to capture all their friends, and they're going to disappear like Stargate style through a doorway and
Nice.
end up somewhere else and leaving all the people stunned around them. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one.
Okay. So you are all on board then.
R2D2 with the fucking thing and adjusting the door. That's all I can see happening.
So Fael, her plans are not coming to fruition at all.
Fael's getting fucked right now, Dan.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's foreplay.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay.
Sweat stung her eyes.
Is there anything else in any of these chapters 6 through 9, very nice, that I missed or you wanted to touch on before we ended?
I had one thought.
Please.
When Fael was describing her time in the Shido camp for the first 2 weeks, she was talking a lot about how different tasks are becoming second nature to her and how she's already adjusting to the Gaishan ways a lot sooner than she could comprehend, and that scared the crap out of her because she's truly becoming a servant because she knows the consequences if she doesn't, follow the rules.
But
and I thought that was interesting.
They've been there 22 days.
But isn't this like super meta in the sense of she literally has the Queen of Andor as one of her serving women?
She has several queens.
Right. She has multiple queens who she doesn't know about serving her. And now she herself as a leader is becoming a servant. It's just so meta. It's hard to ignore. Like the mirror world parallels there.
Yeah.
Well, they say in addiction that when you change your lifestyle, I think for 3 weeks, it becomes natural.
Like habit.
Habit-wise, yeah. And so she's been there for 22 days. And we had the same experience with Egwene when she was in the kennels, where she was like, oh my gosh, I'm seeing myself want to be liked. I want to make this person happy, which is the exact opposite of what I want to do, is to always rebel. I want to always fight against the machine. But after 3 weeks, it gets hard, man. It's you start to get into that habit of wanting the dopamine release of doing things right in whatever action you're at. I think it's a tough thing. I don't necessarily blame her. It's 22 days is a long time, man. If you go camping for 22 days, man, you're off the grid. Like you're out. Yeah. I don't know.
True.
But
I don't go camping.
She is convinced that she is going to escape, and she laughs until she cries. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. Next week, we will do 4 chapters as well. We will do chapters 10 through 13. It is 61 pages in my book. And I think we ended at a good time because this next one is in the Lane chapter. So I liked being focused on Perrin and Fael this whole week.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
Good to get past that chunk, It's important, I'm sure, but Perrin's not my fave,
I want to offer one more theory of what could happen.
I'll offer one too.
That's okay.
Please, yeah.
What if it's like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones style, where there's a battle going on and they're outnumbered, and all of a sudden Perrin's friends show up, like maybe Matt and the band of the Red Hand. You know, like what if there's other groups that are suddenly showing up in the right place at the right time that could help them?
Yeah.
I got another theory. What if Roland, her rapist, torturer, abductor, is the one who ends up saving her?
I think that's possible. That
he's
feels
the one who made her
possible.
die
I like
young,
it.
but-
And what does that do to Perrin's psychology? And
What
how
will
does
that do
Fael
thereafter? Yeah.
Yeah,
How do
exactly.
they?
How
How
does
does that
Fael
affect
respond?
them?
How does Fael
How
respond?
awkward is it going to be when they reunite?
Yeah.
Mm.
How far does she go? What leads to it? I don't know. I can see
Perrin
it
is
kind of dark and fucked up.
totally
So-
because I don't think Perrin would like deal with that at all. Well, at all. Well, that might be the tipping point that sends Perrin into complete insanity, and he starts talking to Darkhound.
And what would Perrin do if he encountered the two of them? Would he kill the fucking shit out of Roland? Probably.
I think so. I think he'd try.
Oh, you make a good point. I mean, would he know that this person is assisting her if he just sees some?
He would
hulking
smell
IO?
like what is going on the minute
You
that
smell the
they're even
pheromones.
Stop,
close
boner.
to
Right,
them.
pheromones.
He'll smell the sex on
The
those.
The
smell of
fact that
sex.
they had fluid bonded.
They'll be stinking like sex. So, you know, it'll be really easy to to scope it out.
Fael and Roland fluid bond, and yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, no, that's insane. We came up with some really fun and insane theories tonight. This was fun.
I agree. This was a good talk. I knew it was going to be good. I was looking forward to it tonight.
This book doesn't suck too bad so far, I'm going to say.
What?
This book doesn't suck too bad so far. If it is the slog, it's been fine.
So far, it's been fine. So
Wow.
far, we're killing it.
That's
Other
a
than the
top
fucking
praise
prologue.
from
The
Josh.
prologue was rough.
The prologue was rough, really rough.
Rough.
I'm glad we can all agree on that. I still don't remember what happened in the prologue.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Yeah. We'll see you next week. Love you on our
Good
proud of
night.
you.
Love
And
you.
run for your lives because this is the way to live.
Yeah.
Yeah.